beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina, I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, we're bringing you my next update on my favorite project pan. This is my Pan Those Eyeshadows. I have one pan to share with you today, which I'm very excited about. So if you want to see what that is, then stay tuned. But before we get into the video, if you are new around here and you love watching project panning updates or eyeshadow related project pans, make sure you subscribe down below. And without further ado, let's jump on in to the update. Pan Those Eyeshadows, I've done this now for like 4 or 5 years, I think. I love Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. I just always feel so accomplished when I hit pan on an eyeshadow. So I just love doing this project. This year I am using the spreadsheet or the eyeshadow prompts that Makeup by Lainey created. I think last year or the year before was the first year that she created the spreadsheet. Last year I utilized the spreadsheet. This is my second year that I have utilized that spreadsheet. There are 100 prompts on that spreadsheet and I am slowly working my way towards having those 100 prompts completed. I currently work on 5 eyeshadows at a time in this project. I kept it at 5. In the past, I've gone up to like 8 eyeshadows or something at a time. I kept it at 5 eyeshadows this year because I am also doing Project Level Up alongside this project at the same time. And for me, Project Level Up can go up to level 6. So when I'm doing this project in tandem with Project Level Up, sometimes it can be up to like 11 eyeshadows that I'm working on at the same time, which can be quite overwhelming. But all that to say, I have my update for you this month. These are my palettes that I'm currently working on. Let's start off with my eyeshadow that I am not having much progress with, and my least amount of progress for this eyeshadow this month comes in at 0. And that is my Be Perfect Carnival palette. This is the first edition of the Stacey Marie Carnival palettes that she did with Be Perfect. I'm currently working on the eyeshadow Breezy. This one rolled in to match the prompt of a blue shadow shimmer. I in the past have done 7 uses in total on this one. So I do have a little dip starting to form and show in there, but I haven't utilized this one this month, unfortunately. So we still only have 7 uses on this one. Slow and steady wins the race, right? I think I just decided this month to make the orange my focus shadow because I have previously tried to hit pan on the orange in the Circ Loco palette, and I don't want there to be like another failed year of hitting pan on Circ Loco. So I currently have the orange as my focus shadow. I think after the orange, this one will become the next focus shadow. So probably maybe over the next month, like for the next update, I might still not have much use on it. But after that, I think I definitely will, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But that is the first one. Moving in, we next have my Glam Light Ice Cream palette. This shadow came in last month and it was to match the prompt of a fantasy self shadow. Now I decided to rotate in the color Green Tea, which is here. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a slight little dip starting to go in this one. I don't know how hard Glam Light eyeshadows, particularly their mattes, are to hit pan, because I don't think I've ever tried to hit pan on a Glam Light matte. I think from memory, people have said the shimmers are quite easy, but I'm not quite sure about the mattes. I am wearing this one today on like my outer corner, but I will say I had to top it with other shadows because it just, like, it wasn't really giving me the intense effect that I was hoping it was going to give me. This one definitely is more on that like pastel side of things. So I may potentially need to rethink how I'm going to get more use out of this one going forward, because it just doesn't really deliver how I want it to deliver. But I will say I have used it 3 times, which is not great, but I think given the fact that I have managed to get a visible dip in it with just 3 uses, it might be a good sign for me, but only time will tell. Next up, we have my Circ Loco palette. Now this one, I rotated in the color Spiral out of this one. It is the shimmery orange color in the palette. I rotated this one in to match the prompt of a pan graveyard. So what that means is a shadow that I previously tried to hit pan on, but I totally failed. I rotated this one into the project last year and I didn't manage to hit pan on it. But so far so good this year. As you can see there, there's a dip starting to form. So I'm hopeful that maybe, I want to say next month, but I don't feel like next month I'm going to have pan on this one. If I continue to use it as much as I have over the last month, maybe I might be able to hit pan on it, but I don't think there's any guarantees. So over the last month, I have used this one 8 times. I think 6 or 7 of those uses came from like nail polish. I'm actually wearing it on my nails at the moment. And then like 1 or 2 uses came from eyeshadow use. So if I continue to use it for nail polish application, I probably definitely could hit pan on it, but it just depends on if I'm actually going to apply nail polish more than like once or twice this month. So we'll see on this one. I'm sitting at a total of 10 uses on this one. I'm happy to see the dip. I'm optimistic that I will be able to hit pan on this one before the end of the year. I really don't want to have this one go back into the collection and have to be brought out again for like year 3 project or pan graveyard. That would be embarrassing. So I really want to focus on this one again this month to try and hit pan on it, because I don't want to be embarrassed and have it again for round 3. My eyeshadow that comes from my little singles eyeshadow palette, I rotated in JD Glow Good Gourd last month. This came in to match the prompt of a shadow that I saved for a special occasion. This one is so beautiful. It is just so gorgeous. As you can see in the center there, it is showing a dip. This one, however, it's not a creamy formula, but it has like that, if you know what I'm talking about, it's like that eyeshadow shimmer, like creamy kind of texture. When they have this like shimmer formula in single eyeshadow sometimes. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but when you put your brush in there, it's almost like it's a cream, but it's not a cream. So it's quite malleable in the pan. That's what I'm trying to say. I have used this one 5 times and I have this like beautiful dip going in it already. I think that I'm going to definitely need to do a lot more than just 10 uses on this one. I think maybe around the 15 to 20 uses and I might have pan on this one. But I'm happy with the progress that I'm making and I really enjoy this eyeshadow. It is beautiful. And last but not least is my pan. I'm so excited to share this with you. It comes from my Glamin Cosmetics Barely Basics eyeshadow palette. This palette is so beautiful. I freaking love this palette. I've only had it for a couple of months, but it has just a beautiful formula and beautiful like color story. It's really easy to work with. I rotated this one in to match the prompt of a shadow from my favorite palette. So I rotated in the color hashtag there, and I do have pan in. I just don't know whether you can see it on camera because the shadow is kind of the same like as the pan. So I'm hoping that you can see that, but I do really like this palette. In terms of shadows in this palette that I grab for, I am loving these like purples. This is like all I've been grabbing for in this palette. It's just, they're just beautiful. They're beautiful shadows and the purples just like work so well. So I've just been like really focusing on this palette, but the browns do have some usage. The greens and the grays, I'm like, that's boring. I want to go for the purples. I really enjoy this palette. The shimmers in it are beautiful, and I'm happy to report that I have a pan in this palette. This one is the most recent palette in my collection, and I already have a pan in it. So I'm very happy to report that I am also trying to not just hit pan on my old eyeshadows, I'm also giving the new ones some love as well. Okay, so we've hit pan on Glamin Barely Basics. That was for the prompt of a shadow from my favorite palette. All that being said, I need to rotate in another new prompt. Now, I think this month might be the last month that I'm going to rotate in a new shadow. That all depends on how well I do between now and next month. If I find that maybe I've like hit pan on 3 or 4 shadows between now and the next month, I might just rotate in some shadows next month, but I'm just going to gauge it. So I'm going to bring up my Tiny Decisions app and my little prompt wheel, and let's see what prompt I get. Let's go. Hopefully it's a good one. I want maybe something that will give me a neutral that I can wear regularly. Okay, we have a shadow from my least favorite palette. That's gonna be hard to choose, I think. I think I'm gonna grab this one. This is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Textured Eyeshadow Palette. This is like her first, what is it? Yeah, Textured Eyeshadow Palette Rose Gold Edition. This is like her first ever eyeshadow palette, and I mean, I keep it in my collection because I just like to compare, I guess. But some of the formulas in here, and I guess the really like glittery shadows in here, they're not that great. So it's probably my least favorite for that reason, it just being not the best eyeshadow formula. In terms of what shadow I want to rotate in, I think I'm going to rotate in this color here, Sandalwood, just because I want a shadow that's going to work well, probably especially with my JD Glow shadow, and I think probably maybe the neutral will work better, or actually maybe Man-Eater might work even better. Oh, it doesn't feel great. Oh, that feels like nails on a chalkboard. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Bossy. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Sandalwood. I don't know if it's necessarily gonna be the greatest to go with JD Glow shadow. I was gonna maybe swap to this one, but it feels gross and it doesn't swatch very well. So I'm gonna stick with this one. So Sandalwood's gonna come in. Let me do a little swatcheroo of all of my shadows. I'm gonna try and do it on my other arm. This is gonna be difficult because I'm actually left-handed and this is my left hand. So it's probably gonna be wonky swatches. I might also grab for this one here, Bay. It might be a good eyeshadow setting shade, so an eyeshadow primer setting shade, so I might have a play around with that one as well. We have our Spiral from Natasha Denona, which is the orange. Actually, they might even go well together. Glam Light Green Tea, that barely even shows up on my skin. Ooh, dooly. Be Perfect, Breezy, and last but not least is the JD Glow shadow. Oh, that color is so beautiful. Okay, so this is the color story we're working with now. So we've got the Huda Beauty shadow, the Natasha Denona, Glam Light, Be Perfect, and the JD Glow shadow. So this is our 4, 5, I can't count. This is our 5 shadows that we're going to be working on over the next month. Wish me luck. Hopefully I can hit another couple of pans before the end of the year. That's the ultimate goal. I will keep you updated. I will be back next month for another update. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you have any eyeshadow look ideas for me using this color story, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your ideas. If you aren't part of the family already and you want to keep up to date on all my future project panning updates, make sure you subscribe down below. And with that all being said, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, beautiful.